Choo choo, and with that we are ready to depart, so go ahead and fasten your seatbelts because in a few short seconds we will be rolling down the tracks with click clack. Everyone put your hands up, put them up, put them up, put them up. Look over to the right side, give a big friendly wave to our hardworking station masters of Nairobi. Say goodbye. No, try again, goodbye. A little better, I'll take it. Once you wave to them, look over to the left side, say goodbye to our Thompson Gazelles. Bye, Gazelles. And then look back over to the right side through the blue and glass enclosure. Say goodbye to our African penguins. And now those green and yellow tracks beginning to surround us on all sides as you tracks up Cheetah Hunt. Cheetah Hunt is a magnetic launch coaster that takes you from 0 to Cheetah in a matter of seconds. Now over on the left side of the train, we have our world famous drum roll, please. Bushes and trees. Woo-hoo-hoo. But just past those bushes and trees, we have the Edge of Africa. The Edge of Africa is a self-guided walking tour. Here you can find lions, lemurs, meerkats, hyenas, my friend the hippo, a Nile crocodile, and so much more. And now coming up on the right side of the train, that big white building is the Serengeti Overlook. The Serengeti Overlook is home to Oasis Pizza as well as our giraffe bar. Feel free to hop in there for a late lunch or an early dinner. Grab some food, grab a drink, sit inside or sit outside and overlook the animals in our Serengeti at the Serengeti Overlook. What a creative name. And now coming up on the right side, the left side, above and below the train, that purple and teal roller coaster is Cobra. This is a family-style roller coaster. You start in an elevator that takes you 70 feet in the air, bringing you face to face with King Midas himself. Then it shoots you forward, shoots you backwards, and forming finales into 8 circles. Now, legend has it, there is no escape to the Cobra's curse, but if you think you have what it takes, feel free to check it out in the Egypt area of the park, along with our next coaster coming up on the right side, in blue and yellow, on 2. Once again, those blue and yellow tracks coming up on the right side of the train, and eventually on the left side is Montu. Montu is named after the Egyptian god of war. It is a steel inverted roller coaster. Steel meaning it's made out of plastic. Knee slapper, just kidding, it's made out of steel. And inverted meaning you ride underneath the tracks rather than above them. Montu takes you 150 feet in the air, flips you upside down 7 different times, reaching speeds of 65 miles per hour. Now once again, if you are interested in riding either Montu or its neighbor Cobra's Curse, you can find both in the Egypt area of the park. And now everyone, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. We are entering into our Serengeti belt. Just a friendly reminder that everyone is required to remain seated. We do have free roaming animals out here, and we may need to change directions, change speeds, or come to a complete stop. So it is very important that you remain seated. Now as we turned over this curve, if you looked to the left and you saw some large tan animals, those are the eland antelope. Elands are the largest of the antelope species. They can weigh up to 1 ton. But don't let that fool you, because despite their size, they can jump up to 10 feet in height from a near standing position. Now also on that left side, you might have seen some smaller brown animals. Those are the impala. Manufactured by Chevy, impala are the second fastest land animal in the world. When chased by a predator, they can reach speeds of 55 miles per hour. And now over on the right side and on the left side of the train, we have some tall trees. But right underneath those tall trees, we have some tall reticulated giraffes. Reticulated giraffes stand up to 18 feet in height. They have a near 360-degree vision perspective. and they are one of the only animals to see in color. Reticulated giraffes do nearly everything standing up. That includes eating, drinking, sleeping, and even giving birth. So that means a baby giraffe's first experience into the world is a 6-foot drop to the ground. Even our animals have thrills here at Busch Gardens. Now also somewhere over on the left side you might have seen a striped animal or two. If you did, those were our Gruvi zebras. Here at Busch Gardens we do have 2 zebra species, the Gruvies being the larger and more domesticated of the 2. They do have stripes that stop at their shoulder blades, which leaves them with a plain white belly. We are now exiting the south side of the belt, where we saw some reticulated giraffes, Gruvi zebra, eland antelope, and impala. And we are entering onto the north side. Just a friendly reminder to remain seated at all times. And let's see what other animals are in store for us today. Who's excited? That was underwhelming. You know you're on a train to see animals, right? So let's try again. Who's excited? Yay! Woo! Starting off strong on the left side of the train, we have some grass and some trees. Oh look! Water! Wow, nature. But also over on that left side, right by that water, we do have some caramel brown animals with long curved horns. Those are the sable antelope. Sable antelope run a matriarch society, meaning it's an all-female herd with one dominant female. Now they do tend to keep one male around, but they kick the rest out around age 3. So ladies, take notes, because if they can do it, so can we. Who run the world? Girls. Now you might have to pull out your binoculars for this one. If you didn't bring any, don't worry, I got you. Take both your hands, put them in little circles, put them over your eyeballs, boom, now you have binoculars. Over on that left side, if you use those binoculars, you might be able to see some small tan animals with a black racing stripe on their side. If you do, those are the Grant gazelles. Grant gazelles are related to the Thompson gazelles I made you wave to over in Nairobi. They're just a little bit bigger and a little bit faster. When chased by a predator, they can reach speeds of 45 miles per hour. Now coming up on the right side of the train, and there is one on the left side, we have some large spiky rocks. But if you squint your eyes a little, you'll realize those are actually white rhinos. And we do have a little baby. His name is Potato Rally, the baby rhino, but his official name is the Swahili word for potato, but I cannot pronounce it, so I made up my own. He is very cute, but please remember to remain seated if you decide to take a picture of him. White rhinos are the 3rd largest weighing animal in the world, right behind the African and Asian elephants. They can weigh up to 6,000 pounds, which is one of the reasons it's very important to remain seated right now. Because if the train has to stop, you will fall off, and then 6,000 pounds will come running at you at 35 miles per hour, and that will not be very fun. That baby right there, he does weigh about 500 pounds already. And he's just the cutest little thing in the whole entire world. I love him. Now that horn that you see is not made of skull or bone. It's attached to their face and it's made out of keratin, which is actually the same material that our fingernails and our hair are made out of. So that means you can think of a rhino horn as like one really long fingernail. Now if you direct your attention over to the left side of the train, we'll see some more striped animals. As I mentioned before, we do have 2 zebra species here at Busch Gardens. We already met our Gruvies, so over here we have the Grants. Grant zebras are the smaller and more photographed of the 2 that we have here at Busch Gardens, and that is because their stripes extend all the way around their bodies. Now back over on the right side of the train, on top of the hill, you might see some magical floating rocks. But those aren't magical floating rocks, they are actually female redneck ostrich. Ostriches are the largest of the bird species. They are completely flightless, however they do have very, very strong legs. And we are about to enter into a tunnel, but before we do, be sure to look to the left. Behind that fence, you might see a beige animal. If you do, that's a greater kudu. They have very large ears, which makes them excellent listeners. And when we pass, they kind of just stare at us, which is what I like to call them the therapist. As we exit the tunnel, just a friendly reminder to remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop inside the station. We will know we're in Stanleyville when we're underneath that red and blue roller coaster known as SheiKra. Speaking of SheiKra, if you look up and to the left, you'll see some of the other coasters that Busch Gardens has to offer. This is Sand Serpent, SheiKra, Falcon's Fury, Iron Gwazi, and all the way to the left is our new swing ride, the Serengeti Flyer, scheduled to open March of 2023. Now coming up on the right side of the train, we have a large brown animal with long horns. That's our Watson sea cow, y'all. Her official name is Loretta, but I don't like that part. Once you're done saying hi to my homegrown, be sure to look to both sides. If you see any of the Gardens ambassadors, give them a wave as well. I promise they will wave back. It's in our contract. And as we finish crossing over this crossing, we will be entering into the Congo area of the park. If you look to the left, you'll notice we are passing a train station, but that is our abandoned Congo train station, meaning we will not be stopping there. So as we pass it, be sure to look to the left and wave to all the ghosts of Busch Gardens past. Now over on the right side of the train, that red and steel roller coaster is Goomba. Goomba takes you 143 feet in the air, flips you upside down 7 different times, reaching speeds of 62 miles per hour. Goomba in a Congo dialect does allegedly translate to roar, which is pretty fitting considering this is our loudest coaster in the park, and that is due to the fact that the tracks are hollow. Normally a roller coaster has sand or similar material in its tracks to help limit vibrations and damage the snow, but like I just said, Goomba's tracks are hollow, producing an opposite effect and giving her her famous roar. If you're interested in riding Goomba, you can find it in the Congo area of the park, along with the next attraction coming up on the right side, the Congo River Rapids. This is a quarter-mile long white-wall rapid ride, 11 of your closest friends or total strangers can go on an adventure through waterfalls, geysers, dips, turns, tricks, flips. Just kidding, there's no flips. That's pretty cool though. Now, as your conductor today, I do feel legally obligated to tell you that this is a water ride. And you're going to walk off either wet, soaked, drenched, or be the one that walks away completely untouched. But there is quite literally no in between, so ride at your own risk. Now coming up on the right side of the train, we have a ranch brown animal and a bongo antelope. Bongos are very shy animals, which is why they were thought to be extinct until the late 1960s when they were rediscovered in an isolated forest in Kenya. Not only are they shy, but they're also nocturnal, meaning they're more active at night, or as I like to put it, they are just like me, and they like to be lazy all day. Over on the left side of the train, we have the Jungala area of the park, home to the orangutans, the tigers, and one of my personal favorites, the chicky leg. And now just a heads up, we are entering into a tunnel. Oh, and goodness, that must have been a secret transporting tunnel, because now we're in Stanleyville. Woo! Stanleyville is home to Zombie Smokehouse, SheiKra Roller Coaster, Tigers Roller Coaster, Stanleyville Lobster, the Stanleyville Theater, and the Stanleyville train station, which we are headed towards right now. We are also going to Junkiala, Sesame Street Safari Fun, the Bird Gardens, Walkabout Way, and over to the right side of the train we have 30th Street. I hope you had a good time here on the Serengeti Express. If you did, my name was Sam. If you didn't, it was Steve. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day here at Busch Gardens. Just a friendly reminder to remain seated until the train comes to a full and complete stop inside the station. I will let you know when it's safe to exit on the left side, the platform side only. Once we are safely stopped, you're more than welcome to get off here, or even stay on the train. Our next stop will be Nairobi, which is where we just came from. Once again, remain seated until we come to a full and complete stop. And as we pull in, be sure to look to the left and wave to our hardworking station master. He has to wave to you, so let's see nice and wave back. Hey! And not yet, not yet, not yet. But it is now safe to exit on the left side, the platform side only. Exits of the station are located towards the front and rear of the train. Have a wonderful rest of your day here at Busch Gardens. Once again, my name's Sam. And if you're staying on, the next stop is Nairobi.